What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. It is Gene Bytes here. We're going to be talking about TypeScript 5.5 today. I know this is a little bit late because TypeScript 5.5 was released a while ago, but I did want to still make this video since I had it on my to-do list. So TypeScript is not just JavaScript with extra rules. TypeScript is becoming one of the most important tools in modern software development because it helps developers build bigger apps without losing control. And TypeScript 5.5 is one of those updates that may not look flashy at first, but it makes the language smarter, faster, and more useful in real projects. So in this video, I'm going to break down TypeScript 5.5 in plain English, what changed, why it matters, and how it affects people building real apps. Now, if you're new here, TypeScript is basically JavaScript with types. So JavaScript lets you move fast, but it also lets you make silent mistakes. Now, TypeScript adds a type system on top of JavaScript so your editor and compiler can catch errors before your users do. Now, this matters because modern apps are complicated. You have front-end code, back-end code, API responses, database models, authentication, payment flows, mobile apps, admin dashboards, AI integrations, and a bunch of moving parts that all need to agree with each other. TypeScript helps you keep all of that organized. Now, let's talk about what TypeScript 5.5 brought to the table. So one of the biggest features in TypeScript 5.5 is inferred type predicates. This sounds technical, so let's make it very simple. A type predicate is when TypeScript understands that a function is filtering or narrowing a type. For example, let's say you have a list of users, but some users might be undefined. In older TypeScript, you might filter the list, but TypeScript would not always understand that the undefined values were gone. So you would write code that looks obviously safe to a human, but TypeScript would still complain. TypeScript 5.5 gets smarter about this. When you filter an array, TypeScript can now infer more often that your filter function removes certain values. That means cleaner code, fewer unnecessary type annotations, and less fighting with the compiler. This is the kind of improvement that matters in real life. It does not just add a shiny new feature, it removes friction. And that is what makes TypeScript better over time. Now, another useful improvement in TypeScript 5.5 is regular expression syntax checking. Now, regex is powerful, but it is also easy to mess up. You might forget a bracket, you might use invalid syntax, write a pattern that does not do what you think it does, or copy something from Stack Overflow and hope it works. TypeScript 5.5 can help catch some regex syntax mistakes earlier. Now, why does that matter? Because regex bugs are sneaky. A bad regex can break form validation, it can mess up email checks, it can break routing, it can cause security issues, it can create edge cases that only show up in production. So having TypeScript catch more of these issues at development time is a huge win. It means your tools are not just checking types, they are starting to understand more of the code around your types. Now, TypeScript 5.5 also introduced isolated declarations. Now, this feature is more advanced, but it matters for larger code bases and libraries. When you build TypeScript libraries, you often generate declaration files. Those declaration files, let me scroll down a bit here. Now, those declaration files tell other projects what types your package exposes. The problem is that generating declarations can become slower and more complicated in big projects. Isolated declarations help TypeScript generate declaration files in a more isolated, parallel-friendly way. A simple explanation would be it helps large TypeScript projects and build tools move a lot faster. So if you're building a small app, you may not really care about this. But if you're building a library, design system, monorepo, SDK, or enterprise app, this matters a lot. It helps TypeScript scale. And scaling is the real story of TypeScript. So TypeScript is not only for beginners learning types, it is for teams trying to maintain large systems without everything turning into chaos. Now, another major theme in TypeScript 5.5 is going to be performance. And performance is not always exciting in a thumbnail, but it is one of the most important parts of a developer experience. Now, when TypeScript gets faster, your editor feels better. Autocomplete feels better, code navigation feels better, refactoring feels better, builds feel better, large projects feel less painful. Now, this matters because developers live inside their editor all day. If your type checker is slow, you're going to feel it constantly. Now, TypeScript 5.5 improved how TypeScript reuses syntax nodes in certain cases, which can make some declarations emit in editor workflows faster. Again, this is not a flashy feature, but it is the kind of thing that improves daily work. Now, TypeScript keeps winning because it fits how modern software is actually built. Most teams still want JavaScript. They want the NPM ecosystem, they want React, Next.js, Node, Express, Nest.js, Expo, Angular, Vue, Svelte, and all the JavaScript tooling. But they also want more safety. This is where TypeScript comes in. It does not replace JavaScript, it strengthens JavaScript. And that is why it became so dominant. Because most companies do not want to choose between speed and structure. They want both. TypeScript gives them a way to move fast while catching mistakes earlier. Now, who should care about TypeScript 5.5? So if you're a beginner, care because TypeScript is becoming default in modern web development. If you are a React developer, care because TypeScript makes components, props, hooks, API calls, and state management easier to reason about. If you're a backend developer, care because TypeScript helps with API contracts, request validation, database models, and service logic. If you're building SaaS apps, care because TypeScript helps you scale code without everything becoming fragile. If you're building libraries, care because isolated declarations and performance improvements matter. If you're using AI coding tools, care even more. This is important. AI code generation works better when the project has strong types. Types give the AI more structure. Types make errors easier to catch. Types makes refactoring safer. Types makes large code bases more understandable. So TypeScript is not just useful for humans. It is useful for AI-assisted development too. Now here's my take. If you're building serious JavaScript apps in 2026 and you're not using TypeScript, you are making your life harder than it needs to be. Now, can you build without it? Yes, of course. Should you build serious apps without it? Usually no, especially if you're building client work, SaaS products, mobile apps, or anything that needs to be maintained for more than a few weeks. TypeScript is not about being fancy. It is about reducing dumb mistakes. And the bigger your app gets, the more valuable that becomes. In closing, the big key takeaways are going to be TypeScript got smarter with inferred type predicates. It got better at catching reject mistakes. It added isolated declarations for larger projects and libraries. It improved performance and editor appearance or experience. And overall, it continued moving toward a smoother developer experience. TypeScript is not just a language trend anymore. It is part of the foundation of modern web development. If you are learning front-end, back-end, mobile, SaaS, or even AI app development, TypeScript should be on your roadmap. Like the video, subscribe, and comment below. Are you already using TypeScript, or are you still writing plain JavaScript? I'll see you in the next one.